Welcome to our review of another ancient set of relics. This is our review for the tank relics. We got little treads, we got a turret, we got anything tanky. What's important to remember with any of our ancient reviews is we're tier listing these ancient relics compared to the other ancient relics that Tanx has. So maybe these are worse compared to another ancient, or maybe they're really good compared to common relics. That doesn't matter for their tier list. We're seeing Tanx. How much should you want to take this relic? Alex, Claws. This is our first one. Upon pickup, transform up to 6 cards into Maul. Maul is a 1 energy, deal 5 damage twice. Increase the damage of all Maul cards by 1 this combat. Upgraded, it starts at 6 damage, and it increases the damage of all Maul cards by 2 this combat.
Damage output on these claws is pretty insane, and it scales quite quickly, especially because obviously they deal damage twice, and so scaling is like twice of what you read on the card. It says, oh, it only goes up by 2. That's effectively going up by 4 for every single other Maul card, which is
that's if you upgrade them, right? You'd have to use your Act 3.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know what happens if you transform an upgraded one. I don't think it comes as an upgraded Maul, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
You usually transform my strikes into claws.
So it's like 1 mana deal 12, and then everything becomes a 1 mana deal 14. Is that correct? If unupgraded.
Unupgraded, it's 1 deal 10. And then everything's 112, then 114.
Yeah.
Then 115.
No, I feel justified in my dislike of this relic. I don't think it's that great. Typically, I already have, especially heading into Act 3, I already have a damage output plan. And this just like makes, I don't know. That being said, I like another relic that we're going to get to that also helps fix like the damage output plan kind of idea, and I like that one, but I don't like this one, so that's a little bit weird to me. But I would put this in D tier. I would even go that far. That's how I feel about it.
One thing fun. Yeah, you think it's fun, Thomas? Would you leave it in D tier?
I feel like I'd pick it up before the whistle, which might be a mistake. The whistle's pretty good, but like, I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, we can just leave it in D.
Yeah, like, Joseph, you believe?
For now, at least. If we really feel strongly later, then maybe I'll.
So, one thing that made me a better Slay the Spire 2 player is trying to think of cards as filling one of 4 purposes: immediate damage, immediate defense, scaling damage, scaling defense. So Claw is just scaling damage, right? And so if you look at your deck and you say, I literally have no scaling damage, yet I've made it here to Act 3, Claws, you can do Claws, or you can do Maul from the Claw relic. I think it's G tier though. I very, very rarely find myself being like, I don't have scaling damage, right? And if I'm playing the Mauls, they do cost an energy still, so I'm not doing the scaling damage that I already have in my deck that I think is better.
Yeah, D tier believers. Let's go.
In general, though, I like Tanx relics quite a bit, and so I think this guy might be better on another character, might be C or D, but I like Tanx relics. Crossbow. At the start of your turn, add a random attack into your hand. It costs 0 this turn. Thomas.
Sorry. Repeat it.
At the start of your turn, add a random attack into your hand. It costs 0 this turn.
I mean, that's okay. A random at the start of my turn or at the start of the combat?
Every turn.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, there is a big difference between once per combat, once per turn, for sure.
The 0 cost is only for Thomas. You said this is good. What tier would you put it in?
Let's just go B. Having a free card every turn is actually pretty good, right? Like, but and pretty much no matter what it is, it's going to be beneficial to your deck. But like, the issue is it starts clogging up your deck as well, right? Theoretically, adding a card to your deck every turn.
An attack.
Or attack. I would say
Yeah.
B.
The more I play with it, the more and more I like it. And I think its damage output is kind of crazy. It just takes care of hallway fights because the concern of redrawing into the attacks isn't really a problem because you just kill it before you need to redraw, around that time. You can get some really high rolls here as well. Getting 3 cost attacks for free and just slapping it down in your turn gives you insane output. And I would say this is A tier, maybe even pushing S tier, depending on how good the other relics are. But I would think A tier.
The one relic I haven't taken from Tanx is Crossbow.
Really? Yeah,
I often
just try it out. Try it
hesitate.
out.
Yeah, I often hesitate to take the random things. It's like, oh, I know Iron Club will be good for my deck, right? But in general, in this game, random generation is really good. Like on Necrobinder, that Call of the Void card that creates an ethereal card every turn. Oh my gosh, that card's crazy, right? And so this is like, do that, but it's also free. I can see it being an A. Thomas, you okay with that?
Sure.
I don't know. Me, every 4 cards you play, draw 1 card. So depending on your deck, this is better for certain characters than for others. Like a Silent, this can be kind of crazy for, though maybe he doesn't even need the draw. I like draw a lot. I feel like this is often 1 draw per turn, right? So how valuable is 6 card hands? It's sometimes a bit weird to plan around. I've drawn my powers after I've played my last energy and then been like, oh crap, I can't play my powers first trip through my deck now. But I think it's still just a decent amount of draw. I think B tier, though maybe it deserves C tier just because the other relics are that good.
I mean, and then it's also, how often do you have energy after playing 4 cards? I don't know.
It's not 4 cards on a single turn, though, Thomas. So if I play 3 cards on one turn, the first card next turn will draw a card. I think it also goes between combat. So you could queue it up to 3. So your first card you play on the start of the next combat draws you 1 card.
Okay. Yep. I get it. I understand.
I'm convinced this thing is kind of broken, and I would put an S tier. I think, yeah, I'm kind of convinced. I pick it up so often when I see Tanx, and I feel like it's good regardless of your deck. Similar to Violin, it can just almost single-handedly, it just solves card draw. But unlike Violin, it goes hand in hand with card draw, and it's not like your current card draw is now bad. It's just like is great. I don't know. You think? Oh, okay, that's a bad comparison. Yeah, I think it's like almost always good in every single deck, and it's always consistent, and card draw is good. I've got to convince it's S tier.
Last time I got it, it was very powerful, but I did keep messing up my power plays, right? Like I should have been, like, because I needed to get my powers down, and I kept using all my energy drawing a card. So you really do have to keep track of it. It does require a little bit more skill, in my opinion, than some other ones. I still feel B. Thomas?
That's probably pretty good. I know I saw it yesterday and I was like, eh. I mean, there's a much better relic for me. So, but
Surely you shifted up to A,
I think
right? Why do we
I mean,
always have you?
I know I'm about to shift up to A if Thomas doesn't have something to say. If he
the
says
fact.
B or S, I'll go B or S. But if he doesn't say anything, I'll go A.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in A. The issue I have with it is I never remember. I have a hard time remembering my relics, so that's a skill issue though.
This one does do a lot of skill issues. Probably the most skill testing relic. Yeah, the most skill testing relic of Tanx. Meat Cleaver. You may remove 2 cards from your deck and gain 9 max HP at rest sites. Alex, what do you think of Meat Cleaver?
I like it for sure. Removing cards is just a very powerful effect. Removing cards has gotten weaker since it's got more expensive in the shops, but this just allows you to thin your deck out a lot and make it a lot more streamlined. Of course, you have to give up an upgrade for that, which is quite notable, or a rest. I mean, you're gaining max HP as well, which is a little bit of HP, so that is notable. So I like it. I don't think it's crazy, and would probably put it in B tier. I do think it's worse than the other 2 relics that we've talked about already.
You're driving me crazy today, Alex. What? What? You think this is B tier? I think it is the easiest S tier we've seen all day. It just says you can go 4 to 6 removes. It's a relic that gives you 4 to 6 removes. You don't need to heal at rest sites because you gain that 9 max HP, and that's often enough. And you get 4 to 6
Okay.
removes.
You're right. So when you just state the number of removes, I'm like, okay, wait, what did I think about the other ancient relic from Vaku that removes cards? Yeah, I thought that was really, really strong. So this is just that, except you also gain max HP instead of upgrading cards, which is a notable difference, but you get to remove more cards.
And you get that health, right? So it's like you get your rest in.
Fine.
That one for Vaku, I'm still thinking we might have ranked that too high. I still had a little bit of memories of when I played it at the beginning, and it did lose 2 card removes. It went from 5 to 3, so we might have ranked it a bit high. But I mean, yeah, that's a lot of removes. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
it.
of
Yeah.
removes.
Yep. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. You're completely correct.
Thomas, Sigh, at the start of your turn, gain 7 block. Every turn. 7 block.
Yeah. Sorry, taking care of a baby too. I grabbed this the other day because yesterday because it was really good for my deck. But I
It does
also was
combo
scrolling
with
through.
Juggernaut quite nicely.
Yeah, I was scrolling through YouTube yesterday, or not yesterday, just the other day, and I saw a thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, but it said +1 energy on this relic. It's actually or energy relic or whatever. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean you don't have to play a block, right? It's a better block for free every turn. It doesn't clog up your deck like a card would. It's almost like Anchor, which you guys are crazy over. And Anchor's only that you're on your first turn, and it's 3 less, but every single turn. S tier. Let's go S tier. Or I guess we're comparing against other things.
Yeah, see, this is where I want to drag both of these down to B tier and then put that in A tier because I don't really feel like it compares to the Meat Cleaver. But I
No, you're
also
probably
think it's better than everything else we've seen.
I'm not convinced it's better, at least a tier better than the Iron Club and the Crossbow. I think it is worse than the Cleaver for sure, and a tier worse than the Cleaver, but I think it's comparable to the Iron Club and Crossbow.
And that
I mean,
makes
it's like, I mean, no, it's not like that. Never mind. Yeah, A tier. I was just saying S tier because I was comparing it to Anchor, and I
Yeah, I
just
mean
realized,
Anchor is the best of all time. I think
yeah,
like on
sense.
paper, if it sounds, I just like I don't feel its powerfulness compared to some of these others. Like I have Crossbow and I'm like, man, I am just killing things now. I have Shiv and I'm like, or Sigh, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. I mean, I was hoping I would block full anyway, but it like does loosen up that spot, so it allows you to spend energy in other ways that you couldn't beforehand, and so that's really where it makes up that unfelt power.
It's
I
really
think
good
it. I
with.
think I don't know. I
Sorry.
would put it at bottom of A tier is where I would personally put it.
Hmm. I'd probably bring it to the. I think it's better than these other ones. It's really good with power cards for the same reason Anchor is really good with power cards. Because you just get your free block and now you can devote to playing those long-term cards, um, those long-term scaling defense or damage cards. um, I love it. Okay, I think we're agreed on A tier. um,
Yeah.
there'd be some debate about where it would go though. And I have the mouse. These people complain all the time about me having the mouse and just placing it and where I place things in tiers, but yet none of them have volunteered to do it themselves. Um, Spiked
I'm not getting
gauntlets.
paid enough to do that.
Uh, Spiked gauntlets gain 1 energy at the start of each turn. Powers cost 1 more. I'm gonna do this. This is interesting. I'm usually a big fan of energy relics. The problem with this one is powers are really good. And one of the reasons you want energy relics are to be able to get your powers out easier. Because they're often a big energy commit. I take this one a lot, but I would probably say it's only B tier. Really, what you want to do when you take this one is look at your deck. How many powers are you trying to play? If you're only trying to play 1 power, it's like, well, that turn I just don't get the energy boost from Spike Gauntlet. If you're trying to play 2, well, you can do it with 2 powers, but above that, you probably just shouldn't take it. But I feel like that energy doesn't do as much as another energy relic would because you're not able to like be playing as many power cards.
Yeah, I think that's a smart point out specifically because energy relics are specifically good with power cards typically because it allows you to defend on the turns that you're playing your power cards, which is very important. And this one actively doesn't do that, which is awkward. And yeah, I think that threshold is probably exactly right. With one or zero, I think this is fantastic. With two, it's great, and then three or more, it's probably not good. I feel like if you compare it to Pale's Flesh, which is from a different ancient, where you only get 3 energy your first 2 turns, and then 4 on thereafter. Similarly, this would give you, if you have 2 power cards, 2 turns that have 3 energy, and then the rest have 4 energy. And I think that relic's quite good, is a great energy relic, and so similarly, I feel like this would be around that level. Except if you have more power cards, it just becomes worse and worse and worse. But if you have 2, strong, 1,
Yeah,
0,
really good.
fantastic. Yeah.
Additionally, if you're trying to play those powers on the same turn, just to note, you're going power negative because of this relic, right? Which, if you've got a ton of powers, you're probably trying to play multiple on the same turn, or at least you want that option. And you can't be going power negative to do that. Alex, Tanx's Whistle. Upon pickup, add 1 whistle to the deck. The whistle is 3 energy, deal 33 damage, stun the enemy, exhaust. Upgraded, it's 3 energy, deal 44 damage, stun the enemy, exhaust. When the enemy is stunned, they just do not take the turn. They will do the same action the next turn. What do you think of Whistle, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I like Whistle. I'll never complain about a Whistle being added to my deck. I just don't think it's crazy compared to these other ancient relics. I mean, it's really strong in hallway fights because it allows you to just, the enemy just starts with 33 or 44 less HP because you play it, it skips their turn, right? It's like that turn never happened. And that's quite good in hallway fights. And like, similarly in ancient or against the bosses, they effectively start with 44 less HP if it's upgraded, 33, which is like all well and good. I don't know. I definitely think these other relics that we've talked about is better, and the relics we're going to get to are probably better as well. I'd probably put this in C tier. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about it though.
It doesn't have retain, right?
No.
No.
Which is fine, because you probably just play it the turn you draw it and you just skip your turn. Unless you draw a power card with it, that would be awkward, right?
But
Well,
you need the power card first.
I don't know. In my mind, I'd want to play this when a specific turn is happening. I don't know. Up for the enemy, not really for what I'm trying to do. It's what the enemy is doing.
Yeah, that's fair. If they're doing a super big attack and you don't have defense cards, this allows you to stall for a turn, so hopefully you can draw those good defense cards next turn. Definitely notable.
Which, not to compare it to other ancient relics, but I'll compare it to another ancient relic. It's kind of like the red gem eye thing from the Pale guy, where if you don't play your hand and you just end your turn, it refreshes your turn. Except better because
Except it doesn't retain. Except it doesn't retain.
And it doesn't. I mean, the Pale's Eye also exhausts your hand, which can get rid of lots of bad things.
Oh, anyways,
but yeah, both let you skip a turn, right?
Skip a
turn.
I don't know. I've had it happen in good times. It's good for enemies that scale, like those birds that gain 9 strength every turn. All of a sudden, they don't gain the strength and they don't attack. She's fine though. I don't know. I like the card.
Like,
I think stun is a surprisingly good effect.
Well, so like Whistle's interesting because there's several things that can make it busted. One, multiplayer. If you're on multiplayer, just pick up Whistle, right? Oh my gosh, you skipped the boss's turn. Everyone else just got to take their normal turn without blocking. This is insane, right? 2, if you remove the exhaust remove the exhaust vent. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. You're just gonna keep playing it.
3, history book. Have you done this with history book? It's real good.
Real good. Yeah, skip another turn, and then just have you done with history book, and then you just stopped taking turns?
No, unfortunately, a history book with exhaust cards, or with cards in general, the history book doesn't trigger on the previous history books.
Oh, dang it. I didn't. Yeah. I've never, ended my turn, not used my energy after a history book. Anyways, lots of things can make it busted, but really what it says is the base thing is deal 33 damage. If I had a relic, my question is like, if I had a relic that just said deal 33 damage to the enemy, -1 draw on your second turn. Or not, like not even really -1, like just deal 33 damage, right? Where would I place that? I think I'd place it in D tier.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, it really, like, skipping the turn doesn't feel all that great because you're also skipping your turn to do 33 damage. So it really
If you
just feels like the enemy starts with 33 less HP. That's what it feels like a majority of the time, I feel like.
yeah, there's like ways if you have extra energy, right? You could play one cost in this, but I don't know. I think this is D tier. Maybe I don't know whether or not.
It might be worse
I
than
don't
the
know
claw.
whether you think it's worse than the claw.
Claw, you transform up to 6 cards. Is that correct? It's
Up
not.
to 6. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I could see. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of. Yeah. Good. That being said, I don't. I see this relic, and if I hate the others, like it's fine to have a whistle in my deck. I'm not going to complain. Whistle's a great card. It's just like the others are just so much better. I feel like I don't know.
But it's also fine to transform all your strikes into mauls, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, those are a lot better now. Uh, sorry, Thomas, if you wanted it higher.
I don't know. I just like when I first saw it, I remember not liking it, but I just remember it doing good things. But maybe that's because I was playing multiplayer when Alex grabs it and plays it on someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Snap, grab, and multiplayer. Just always grab it. Just always. It is S tier multiplayer because you are skipping your turn, right? That's what the 3 energy says. I do my whole turn to do this. But then other people don't. And the stun still lets them do whatever. It's insane. Yeah. Yeah. If this was a multiplayer tier list, this could be the best ancient relic in the game. And do I believe
That's an
that?
interesting thought. It could be. It could be.
In 4-player multiplayer, I would bet I would say that. I'm not sure about 2.
But it's not the best relic. The best relic is the
Is
10th one.
anchor. Oh.
Is Anchor?
Oh.
No, it's the 10th one.
Yeah.
Miniature tent is insane in multiplayer. Anyway.
I love miniature tent so much. Oh yeah. Throwing axe. The first card you play each combat is played an extra time. One thing to note about throwing axe is it does say each combat. I always want to read that as each turn, but each combat you play, the first card you play is played an extra time. Am I on Thomas? I think.
Yeah.
Skip my turn for now.
Okay. I'll take this one. I think throwing axe is interesting. I think it is about a C tier relic. Sometimes this is just a little bit of value. Sometimes this is an extra power. Doubling up your powers can kind of be crazy. And I mean, I think that's where it's best at is it can just double a power. But it has to be in your opening hand, so it's rather inconsistent. But depending on what your deck looks like, what you want to double, it can be very strong since it can double any card type. The best run I've ever had with this, I had Gambling Trip and Bag of Prep. So I'd see 7 cards. I'd mull all 7 if I didn't have the power that I wanted. I'd get the next 7. I'd play a power card twice. That would just bust the run open. So like it can do really incredible things. But often it's just, an extra 2 energy because you get to play it like sweep a second time.
Yeah, I feel like you hit on the key points. It's obviously best with powers. You just can't consistently have a power in your opening hand. However, that being said, if I keep using Bulwark as an example, but maybe that's a bad example because Bulwark's already just really strong. But if this just plays my Bulwark twice on my first turn, I think that's a great usage of it. It wasn't, and that's like, that's great. It's not as good as playing a power twice, but if you have a lot of powers, this is going to be better. I don't know. I don't know though. I generally feel the same. I feel like on paper, it might be able to be pushed up to B tier, but my experience has been it's C tier. That's how I feel about it as well.
I like it in B tier. I don't know. Maybe I pick up more powers than you guys do, but you play a power twice. You play rupture twice. You play. I mean, it's just like if you have 4 powers in your deck, you probably have a power in your first turn.
Yeah,
Some
that's
powers
fair.
have an instinct
always, but-
upgrade.
An 8.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have an
I
innate one. I just think
think
double playing powers is so overpowered that even if you don't get it every combat, it's great. Um, so I would bump it up to B probably, but
could be okay with that. B,
Yeah.
you convinced us. Yeah, I mean, like, it really does have runs where it is performing above everything in A tier. It's just nowhere near as consistent as anything in A tier, or even this, right? But it can outperform all four of these relics. I like Cleaver a lot. I don't think it really is better. But no, you probably can even outperform Cleaver on
Yeah.
certain terms
Yeah.
and certain
For
things,
sure.
right?
For
Get your
sure.
rare power that you only have one of down twice.
plays
Right?
not yet
We all love a
twice.
double barricade. That was
Double
a joke.
barricade, very strong.
Double barricade, yeah. That one is OP.
Uh, Warhammer, whenever you kill an elite, upgrade 4 random cards. I'm very curious what you think about this.
If you haven't been lucky with your upgrades, this is a boon, right? Like you can upgrade like a majority of your deck probably by the time you reach the end guy, but you're also gonna be hurting after it. I don't know. It seems good. See, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's the couple problems I have with this is since it doesn't give you immediate power and it asks you to fight several elites, like you would preferably with this love to fight 3 elites, but since it doesn't give you that immediate power like other things do, your capacity to fight 3 elites is a lot less. And so commonly I pick this up, I'm like, yeah, okay, I think I'm ready. I think I can take these 3 elites. And then by the time I get to the third one, I'm like, no, I can't do this third one. Let me dip to a different path. And so then it's like upgrade 8 random cards, which is like fine, but not. I mean, that'd be great for an Act 1 ancient relic. I just don't feel like it compares to these other ones. I feel like Joseph also has a thought that I will let him share. We'll see if it's the same thought that I'm thinking about.
Oh, I think if this said upgrade 8 random cards, it would be fantastic. I know what you're talking
I
about.
mean, on pickup, sure, but you have to
Yeah,
wait until you
always
beat the
on
first
pickup.
elite,
Yeah,
and then you
I
wait until you
hate
beat the second
farming.
elite.
I hate farming elites in Act 3. I feel like it's a
Yeah,
way to
that's
give
exactly
away
it.
your runs and just die. Like I'm feel good about C tier. When I first saw this relic, I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Let me go die to the Act 3 elites. And then, and then I died to Act 3 elites. And I'm like, oh yeah. The problem is the Act 3 boss isn't so much harder than the Act 3 elites. Like they I'm sometimes more likely to die to elites than I am the Act 3 boss. I'm not sure if that's even true, but it feels like that. So I have to take a large risk for this boon. And it's a pretty dang good boon, right? But it's a really weird spot where you can say, I there's this really weird game state for this to be super good. And it has to be I'm strong enough to beat the elites, but not strong enough to beat the boss. And that just doesn't happen that much, right? It says, hey, I can farm. I'm strong enough right now without an ancient relic to farm the elites, but I need to farm the elites because I'm not strong enough to beat the boss. It's just, I don't know. But I think just even 4 random upgrades, you often end up taking elite in that 3, even if you don't want to, right? Um,
Yeah, it's like 4 campfires, right?
yeah, four random upgrades isn't terrible, right?
Yeah,
I
because
think it's
compared to everything else on this list, and you know, even after this conversation, I might have convinced myself into D tier, to be perfectly honest.
I feel like I'm talking myself down into D tier, but I do like it better than those two. But maybe I'm wrong about that.
It's pretty funny that you guys are saying this because at the very beginning you're like, these are all so powerful. Like it's, and now it's like we're putting 3 in D tier. In the last video,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
struggled to
Everything
put.
else is so powerful.
They're really good. I mean, like you compare it to other ones in the list, right?
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like, if I got as a common relic claws, I would say that's better than anchor. And anchor, I think, is the best common relic. I talk about it all the time because it's so good for common, right? Claws just isn't so good for ancient.
for
Um,
tanks. For yeah.
for ancient relics, for an ancient relic. Okay, I think C. I still feel okay about C. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Try Boomerang. This is only offered if you have at least three cards that don't have three attacks that don't have enchantments. Choose three attacks in your deck. Enchant them with Instinct. Instinct says double the damage. Baby.
Imagine this on the upgraded bash. What's it called?
Break.
Break.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah. Becomes 60 damage instead of 30. Yeah.
Why
I think this is I would put this in S tier. I don't know if it's my turn, sorry. I would put this in S tier. I feel like it makes your payoff cards just broken, busted. If you have any payoff card, it just becomes insane. You're playing Necrobinder, slap this on Unleash. Even if it only hits one card, I'm commonly happy with it. Like if I feel like I've played Necrobinder, looked at these relics, say, try Boomerang is still good enough, even though I'm putting it on an Unleash, a Strike, and then like some random other card, right? And I still think it's really strong because Unleash doing double damage is absurd. Same with like Stardust doing double damage is absurd. Same with other, these payoff cards doing double damage is just bonkers. So I feel like this can commonly make your deck just broke and busted, and so that's why I put it in S tier. Although sometimes it doesn't hit, right? Sometimes you don't really have a payoff card, and it's just not good there, which is fair. But I feel like the upside is high enough where I would put it in S tier.
I don't know. I would I rather have my payoff cards deal double damage, or just have a ton of extra survivability in Sigh? I'm. You're convincing me that it's probably A tier, but I was originally thinking B tier.
Hmm.
I I think it's good. I think there's cards it's a really good enchantment on, but I
I
also
think
just
there's a
think
lot of cards that is good enchantment on. Double damage card, like cards that you attack twice, all of a sudden became like four times. I mean, they became twice as good, I guess. But anyways, they're really good.
Yeah,
Cards that are like you play this and then it increases by 5.
I mean that's an right. Yeah, the Ironclad card. I forget what
Yeah,
it's
there's
called. Rampage.
Rampage.
Mommy,
Or anyways, there's a colorless card that you gain block
mommy,
for the amount that you do damage.
mommy, daddy,
Really good. Anyways, I think there's
daddy, come now.
so. Thomas, you also feel S tier?
I feel comfortable with it in this tier. I think there's a lot of cards that it just doubles the effectiveness or
Yeah,
more
even
because
on
not all attack cards are just deal 30 damage, like or deal 10 damage. It's also do something else, but I don't know. At least from my point of view with Ironclad, I think it's really good. You sit on my lap.
Let me pitch you guys on A tier one more time. Attack just isn't the top priority all the time. Of course, if ever you can, kill them faster, right? That means you need less defense. I just think, I feel like my payoffs often are big enough, and I'm trying to help other parts of my game. But there's a really good point just to say, but if your payoffs were bigger, you would just win sooner, right?
Yeah, in fact, you would win twice as early, arguably. Um, if it's twice
I,
as much damage. You can play Stardust half, with 5 stars instead of 10 stars, and it's doing the same amount of damage, and that's a lot of damage. And even on AoE cards, it can make AoE fights feel trivial when you're playing your astral plane or whatever and dealing, instead of 16 damage all, it's dealing 32 damage all of a sudden. And it's just like AoE just becomes way better, and you can just farm through hallway fights, and you can farm through elite fights, I feel like. And it makes your payoff cards good enough to just destroy the boss and stuff. I could see A tier. I could see A tier, but I feel like the more I think about it, the more I'm convincing that it just has enough upside to be S tier.
It's just meat cleaver.
The meat cleaver is really good.
Maybe we scoot all of A tier down. We put this in D tier. Scoot all the other tiers down.
I don't think it's that big.
But meat cleaver.
I don't think Meat Cleaver is as good as you. I mean, like, the effects are amazing, but I think the situations in which you find yourself where you want the Meat Cleaver.
I certainly don't think it's
And
2 tiers higher
comparison.
than 8 stuff we have in A tier.
Meat cleaver.
It's just the situations are more suspect or infrequent with Meat Cleaver. Anyways.
Okay, well, try Boomerang ended up on the same tier. In your comments below, tell them that they were wrong. That nothing that Tanx offers should be on the same tier as Meat Cleaver. Of course, there is situations. Some of the more interesting relics always do depend on where your deck is, right? And there's definitely times where try Boomerang or even something like Throwing Axe could be the best relic in the character. So always look at your deck, look at what you're doing, and then pick Meat Cleaver. We'll see you next time on this episode of Perazzo Brothers Gaming.